Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? We got UFC Fight Night in the lovely Apex Arena. Cannonier versus Rodrigues, going from the bottom of the card, working our way to the top. So we'll go ahead and get started. We have Julia Avila versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Again, I am terrible at pronouncing names. I'm going with Jacqueline Calvanti by round 2 or 3 TKO or KO, and or she's gonna get the sub in round 2 or 3 or by decision. Julia Avila just didn't look good in her last fight, and it was a loss. Jacqueline Calvita looks like a much more, I don't even know how to Cavalcante. I think that's how you say it. Sorry again, but I think she's just a better prospect. I think she's going to get it done. Plus, she's got the reach advantage. Probably gets it done on the feet. And if she doesn't, she'll follow her to the ground and either get a submission or TKO. And if that doesn't happen, she'll just dominate her and get a decision. And next, we have a very interesting matchup at heavyweight here. Really, really telling matchup. We got Dontel Mays versus Walter Walker. Kind of funny name, Walter Walker. Sounds like a kind of a vampire kind of name. But we got Walter Walker. I don't know why Dontel Mays is even in the UFC. I mean, Jesus Christ, 11-7 is just. What are we doing with these records? We got to get rid of some of these people. Okay, I know the heavyweight division is begging for someone to come into and make a big noise and stuff like that. Tom Aspinall, he's a big star and stuff like that, but we'll get to who I end up wanting to come into the heavyweight division, and it's kind of a wild card. Maybe some people expect what I'm going to say, but I'll save it for the video. But anyways, back to this matchup here. Vulture Walker by round 1 KO or submission. Dontel Mays is kind of tailing the end of his career, 11-7. Don't think you can do much with that. So yeah, we got Vulture Walker by round 1 KO or submission. Next, we move on to Vince Morales versus Elijah Smith. I chose Elijah Smith by round 1 KO or round 2 TKO. Oh, excuse me. I hate burping. I don't want to re-record this though and edit it out, so you're going to have to deal with it. Anyways, Vince Morales lost his last fight, and he's making his debut, and he's 7-1. I know it says 1-0, but yeah, if you click on the fighter here, it shows 7-1, so that's really good. 3 first-round finishes is pretty good in his 7-fight career, so that's why I am picking him in the round 1 or round 2 KO or TKO over Vince Morales. Moving on, we have Gabriel Bonfim versus Chaos Williams. Now, going back to this, because I have it written down, I have Chaos Williams as my pick, but there's a part of me too that wants to pick the safer side and go with Gabriel Bonfim, but then there's that gut instinct that's like, Chaos Williams, sometimes he shows up, man, and sometimes he can get the job done. And that's what I'm hoping for. So I have him by the round 1 KO or TKO. I think Bonfim is also going to try to go for a knockout, and that'll play into Chaos Williams' hand, and I think Chaos Williams gets it done. They're both coming off wins, but I like how Chaos Williams has the reach advantage over him. I know Gabriel Bonfim's fought like 1 or 2 months before him, but yeah, I just like Chaos Williams in this matchup. I think he gets it done. I think he becomes 16-3, and Gabriel Bonfim becomes 16-2. So yeah, moving on. Rafael Estevam versus Jesus Aguilar. I got Rafael Estevam. He's had a pretty good fight streak so far. I mean, 12-0. Really, really good to have. I know this guy is 11-2, which is a good record, but he's got a lot of momentum. 69-inch reach versus 62-inch reach. Bigger leg reach, taller. He's absolutely mogs him. I mean, 5'4" is crazy versus 5'8" at flyweight. So I have Rafael Estevam by the round 2 or round 3 KO or TKO or submission. He's got jiu-jitsu right on his chest, so if he doesn't knock him out or TKO him, he's gonna lock up a submission and get that done via jiu-jitsu. So yeah, Anyways, moving on to some names that are recognizable. I mean, I recognize Bonfim and Chaos Williams, but anyways, Jared Gordon, a little bit more known, well named. Lost in his last fight. What was his last fight? It's Hawksfrat. I ended up picking him because I don't have any information on this guy. As you can see, I don't want to even bother looking up his name or whatever. I'm just gonna play it safe and go with Jared Gordon. I know he's coming off of a loss, but he's been in the UFC. He's a vet of the UFC. This guy's making his debut. There's been a lot of people making their debuts and a lot of prospects coming in the UFC getting schooled by vets. So gonna have to go with the vet here, Jared Gordon. I think he gets the decision, either majority or split decision. I don't think he's gonna win by a TKO. I like. It's been a while since I've seen him win by a KO or TKO, and if there is one and it's recent, please comment down below what it is, because I honestly have no recollection of any sort of knockout or submission that Jared Gordon has done in a while. But anyways, moving on to our main event of the prelims, Angela Hill versus Katlyn Souza. Thank God Angela Hill is no longer in the main events. Praise be MMA, Jesus, because those fight cards were absolutely atrocious. I swear, those UFC Apex Fight Nights, they had like 2 or 3 main events with Angela Hill. At least I believe so. I could be completely wrong, but it felt like it. It felt like she was either main event or co-main or feature fight for those UFC Apex cards, and it was so annoying to deal with. Nothing against the woman herself, but she's 17-14 in the UFC. What are we doing? You're telling me we can't get a Dakota Ditchova or any other strawweight from freaking PFL? Pay them a little bit more. Come over here, you know. But this is where we're at. I got Katlyn Souza. I think she gets it done by decision or round 1, 2, or 3 KO or TKO, because she does have some knockouts on her career. Eight knockouts is pretty good. 5 first-round finishes is also pretty good. Angela Hill's a vet, though, so I don't think she'll get knocked out in the first round. But it is always possible. This is MMA. So I'm more planning on it going to decision. The odds have it as kind of a pick'em fight, which is crazy because Angela Hill is just like, again, 17-14 is absolutely crazy to be in the UFC, even for a woman fighter. I'm sorry, 17-14 is. We gotta have a standard here in the UFC, okay? I believe unless you were a champion, okay, or a crazy legend that's been in the UFC for years and years and years. I know Angela Hill's been in the UFC for a while now, but she's never been in title contention, at least that I know of, and she's never been really top contender material, really. You know, she's just kind of floated at 15-10. She's always been a, kind of a karate hottie type fighter where they put her on a couple times, and she may have a good fight here and there, but it's just, what are we doing? What are we doing? Anyways, moving on. I got Jose Delgado making his debut. Getting a round 1 KO or TKO. Can't trust Connor Matthews after that last loss. Plus, Jose Delgado is coming in with the reach advantage. So that's why I have him getting it done by round 1 KO or TKO. Next, we move on to Rodolfo Vieira versus Andre Petroski. I got Rodolfo Vieira mainly because, that tattoo. Come on, man. Really? You're going to have the hammer and sickle? Lame. Anyways, I think Rodolfo Vieira gets it done round 1 or round 2 KO or TKO. Andre Petroski's been just like so mid, honestly. Every time I've seen him fight, it's been like it's just such a low caliber like striking event, honestly. And I gotta trust the Brazilian over here to put it on this communist here. So hopefully Rodolfo Vieira gets it done in brutal round 1 or round 2 KO or TKO fashion. Love to see that. Anyways, moving up. Ismail Bonfim versus Nazim Sadikov. I got Ismail Bonfim, one of the Bonfim brothers. I'm picking. Round one, round two, KO or TKO, or he gets the decision. Coming off of a draw is always iffy as well, but I like Ismail Bonfim for his record first of all, the reach, and the opponents that he's beat as well. And as you can see, the odds kind of reflect that as well. Nazim Sadikov just doesn't have the real good resume in the UFC, if I'm going to be completely honest. So for that reason, I got to go with Ismail Bonfim again by the round one or round two KO or TKO, or he gets it done by decision. Because I don't think his gas tank will allow him to get a finish in round three. Anyways, we go on to a real loser's fight here. Dylan Budka versus Edmund Shabazian. Now this guy was just so, like, again, he lost to Petrosky and he's fighting in a spot above him is kind of crazy. This dude is like mid as a contender. And same thing with Edmund Shabazian. This is really a battle of the mid here. Old golden boy Edmund Shabazian has just let me down way too many times. His last loss, and this is crazy, was to Gerald Mearshart, which, like, I know GM3 is the GOAT, right? GM3 is the GOAT of middleweight, but man, you can't be losing to Gerald Mearshart. And what, Edmund Shabazian, he's like, what, 25 or 26 or something? How old is he? Does it show? I forget where it showed it was at, but he's just had a really, like, look at this. Shabazian versus Hernandez. Round 3 TKO, beat some Dobson. Kind of a nobody, sorry. And then gets submitted by Gerald Mearshart. Like, ooh, that's really not good. But anyways, I have him by the decision or round 3 KO or TKO. If he doesn't get the round 3 TKO or round 3 KO, then he will get the decision victory. Probably a very uneventful fight, honestly, because these guys, like, their striking is just so bad from what I've seen. I didn't really see any good Edmund Shabazian striking highlights yet. Maybe I gotta relook at some of them, but yeah, he normally gets on top of people on grounded pounds from what I've seen from Edmund Shabazian. So I think he gets that Dylan Budka down and does his thing there. But I don't think he gets it done in round 1 or round 2. Next, we have a pretty interesting fight. This should be an exciting matchup. Calvin Kattar versus Yusuf Zalal. I feel like this is kind of gone under the radar a little bit. People forget about Calvin Kattar. Anyways, I know his last loss was to Aljamain Sterling in kind of an unforgettable fight, but Calvin Kattar, man, he's got really good striking. I know, again, he's getting pieced up by Max Holloway and stuff like that, but he's a name at featherweight for a reason, and that's because he's had some really great, brutal finishes, and Jeremy Stevens comes to mind as well as one of those just brutal, vicious elbow finishes from Calvin Kattar. I think he's going to end up schooling Yusuf Zalal a little bit. I don't think Yusuf Zalal's got this. So that's why I have Calvin Kattar around 2 or around 3 KO or TKO or decision. I haven't seen Calvin Kattar really show any early round finishing potential. He normally kind of works into it, figures you out, and then he hits you with some really devastating shots. So I got Calvin Kattar by the round 2 or 3 KO or TKO. Moving on to our main event spot, Jared Cannonier versus Gregory Rodrigues, a.k.a. RoboCop. Going with Gregory Rodrigues. It's crazy that Gregory Rodrigues looks so much older than Jared Cannonier. But Gregory Rodrigues is like only 32. And Jared Cannonier is hitting 40 now. Fortunately, he's at the twilight stages of his career. He had his chance with the title shot against Izzy. He's not getting back up there anytime soon. I think Gregory Rodrigues gets this done by round 1 or round 2 KO or TKO, or he gets the decision after that. Yeah, I know Gregory Rodrigues. He had like one KO loss. But other than that, he's been really dominant, and he has some really thudding, powerful shots that if Jared Cannonier is not defending them real well, it'll be he'll end up getting finished. So yeah, and his last loss was to Mavov. I know it was kind of a controversial loss or whatever, but just he was getting pieced up, honestly, and he's gotten pieced up by a couple of people. So yeah, for that we're going with Gregory Rodrigues, and yeah, that's the whole card there. Looking forward to watching this. There's some interesting matchups on there, and it's definitely an event to keep us entertained for Saturday. So yeah, I'll check you guys out on Saturday. Hopefully, my pick rate remains positive. So again, it's a little bit harder when they have these debuting people coming into these cards and stuff like that. Hard to make predictions, but I'll try my best for you guys. And hey, if you make any money off my picks, let me know. That'd be really great because I want to start actually putting a little bit of money on my bets as well. So, anyways, you guys have a great day. I'll see you later.